What is the point, do you think, Sam, of a bunch of politicians in 2021 promising their various citizens, their various populations, so Boris Johnson promising us, Joe Biden promising America, and so on and so forth, promising us that something's going to happen in 2050, where Boris will probably be dead, and certainly Joe Biden will be dead, because he's almost dead now. So what is the point of these lavish promises for, 30 years hence? That subsequent leaders are just going to go, oh yeah, forget that. It's nonsense, isn't it? It's ludicrous.
Yeah, well, look, these guys get to look great by making promises that other people are going to have to live with the consequences of. And Alok Sharma today was calling himself the shepherd in chief. You say that he was calling us sheep. I'm not sure if he wasn't calling himself Jesus, right? I'm the good shepherd. If you don't follow me immediately, you're all going to perish and burn. Yeah. You've got no other chance. Embrace me and Greta and my band of merry men, and you will all live forever. Look, the hype on this is getting blown out of all proportion.
Frightening, I think. I think we are in the grips of a kind of mass hysteria about green issues, about climate change, and a kind of global neurosis. And I think my theory is because it's very easy for world leaders and people like Prince Charles to talk about this stuff. You can always say, I'd really like the planet not to be destroyed because it's nice and uncontroversial. And so those flames are being fanned, and now we have mass hysteria, I think, all over the planet, and people are getting neuroses about it.
Yeah, and look, they won't even do the controversial stuff within it. So today we saw that India decided it was going to announce it wasn't going to go carbon neutral till 2070. Now, this whole plan is based on getting carbon neutral in 2050. Yet India, one of the countries that's about to be one of the biggest polluters on Earth, can't do that and is going to miss it by 20 years. It's over. They finished. It was all wasted. Yet rather than focusing their attention on telling the Indian government, the Indian people, no, hang on, you guys need to deal with that. Who are they busy lecturing us today? It's us. It's you didn't turn off the water faucet when you cleaned your teeth. It's you rinsed your dishes before you stuck them in the dishwasher. This stuff doesn't have the blindest bit of difference. It's India that is burning brown coal like there's no tomorrow. It's China.
Yeah.
Power stations every day, and yet they can't do the controversial stuff, which is saying to them, no, hang on, you guys stop it. And instead, what do? They take the easy option to gain the maximum virtue, which is saying, oh no, it's you guys in the West, you're causing all the problems. We've cut our carbon faster than anyone else in the G20 in this country. Nobody gets to lecture to us. And yet politicians who want to look virtuous by cashing checks that the next generation are going to have to pay are all too happy to lecture us and not the real villains in this story.
Absolutely. And don't forget that developing countries, for all of our great green plans to come to fruition, we require developing countries not to develop. Don't you dare advance yourself technically. Don't you dare become industrial, because that will spoil the planet. So it's not just we ordinary citizens who are getting lectured to. So are developing countries. It just doesn't add up, does it?
Yeah, that's right. The big winners here are all the middle-sized countries, all the middle economic countries, Russia, Brazil, India, China, countries like South Africa and Nigeria, those that are kind of halfway along the journey, because they're saying, no, we'll do it whenever. Those that have got nothing are being told, you'll never get anything, and we won't invest in your energy development. And we're being lectured to and held back. And that's where it gets really serious, because all of a sudden you've said to countries that don't share our values, that are quite dangerous on the world scene, Russia and China and Iran, for example, develop as you wish, whereas you're holding us back. And what you're really doing is if there's going to be a new Cold War, if it's a net assessment balancing one side against the other, well, you're emboldening our enemies and your strength, and you're weakening us and our allies. And that's a real problem to me.
It is a problem. And the other problem is, of course, then that's going to hit Boris, like a freight train in the months and years to come, is that the people of this country, and indeed around the world, are going to work out that this green stuff is going to cost them a fortune. And when people realise that it's hitting them in the pocket, trust me, Boris's idea that his green obsession is wildly popular will prove not to be that. Sam, always a pleasure to talk. Thank you so much. Sam Armstrong, Director of Communications at the Henry Jackson Society.